Welcome to our video designed to stimulate our thinking about effective professional learning and development for teacher mentors. Are you a teacher mentor? Mentoring other teachers, usually at an early stage of their career. Or working with mentors. Leading and/or designing professional learning and development for mentors. Or making policies at local and national levels that impact mentors. This video is to enable us to reflect on our views of effective professional learning and development, PLD, for mentors. Each year, many teachers take on the role of teacher mentor for a student or early career teacher. Research suggests that building competence in mentoring others requires conscious intent and effort, and that a significant factor impacting the effectiveness of mentors is associated with mentor professional learning and development. By using the term PLD, professional learning and development, we are embracing professional learning that includes the formal and informal opportunities that mentors have for learning something that is potentially of value to them as professionals, leading to developing their professional behaviour, knowledge, skills, attitudes, beliefs, values, identity, and mission. There are many ways to develop as a mentor. Take time to consider what you would suggest as effective professional learning and development for mentors. What would it look like? Please pause the video and record your thoughts. Here are the views of some current and former practitioners.
Professional learning for mentors needs to be kept bite-sized but constant. They need a balance of key information and reflective provocation so that they are aware of what is expected of them as mentors, but also so they see it as a valuable opportunity to reflect on their own practice alongside a future colleague. For it to be valued by mentors, the professional learning needs to be facilitated in a way that adds as little additional work as possible. So using online video clips along with some readings with structured reflection protocols to inspire collaborative, facilitated online discussions are valuable. And if these discussions can be with other interested mentors from a range of schools, well, that is even better as it fosters productive networking as well.
Teacher mentors have a wide range of skills and knowledge about their own professional practice and the variable depth and breadth of the professional schema needed to effectively mentor trainee teachers. When developing the professional knowledge, skills, and interpersonal skills of teacher mentors, we must take into account the cultural and experiential framework within which the teacher themselves has developed their own practice. This can introduce biases that the teacher mentor may not be aware of within their own ideas about effective teaching. The experiential schema that the teacher mentor brings with them to the mentoring of novice teachers has been influenced by their own experience of being mentors and their perception of the effective mentoring that may have used with other mentees previously. This can sometimes require the teacher mentor to unlearn experiences and the grounding that they have placed on their own approaches to mentoring. Effective professional learning must therefore develop critical reflection by the mentor, as well as explore the reflexive approach to mentoring used with their mentee. Any programme of professional learning needs to be considered as a ladder of continuing professional learning and development that recognise that teacher mentors will be operating as novice, advanced beginner, competent, proficient, or as an expert.
Effective professional learning and development for teacher mentors should be current, research informed, and be delivered in ways that enable mentors to consider how course content is applicable to their individual student and context. Time is an essential consideration. Not only the time to attend courses, to undertake focused mentoring conversations and specific learning activities in the classroom, but mentors also need the time to share their learning with colleagues in school to develop an environment that develops and prioritises teacher learning. In addition, the timing of course activities needs to ensure that mentors have the skills required to adapt their practice as the needs of their students change during the ITE period. Mentors should have opportunities to participate in communities of practice. These should be in provider-led sessions, learning new skills and working with other mentors whose students are at a similar stage of development. And also within their setting, working closely with colleagues to understand how their mentoring skills can be applied to best effect within the school. The format and timing of mentor learning sessions should provide the best environment for mentor learning. This may be online, but the value of face-to-face dedicated time for training during the working day should not be underestimated.
As for me, there is a lot known and written about professional learning and development for teacher mentors. For me, what is missing is the context in which the mentor works and what that means for their professional learning and development. In school-university partnerships, teacher education is the shared responsibility of universities and schools. This learning in two contexts requires good guidance and supervision, aimed at helping future teachers to connect practical and theoretical learning and vice versa. The professional learning and development of mentors should be more in the workplace and collaborative with the future teacher and the teacher educator from the university. Learning and teaching in partnerships asks for professional learning and development in the triangle: student, mentor, and teacher educator. Effective means both professionals and the future teacher develop. Learning in two contexts asks for continuous meaning negotiation. What does this aspect of teaching look like in general and in this specific context? What is there to be learned in practice and theory? When does that meet the standards? And what does the learning pathway look like? Only in close collaboration with all three partners, the learning of the future teacher will be effective. Professional learning and development for mentors includes getting to know the curriculum requirements and translating them to their specific context. This can best be done and learned during guidance in the student, mentor, and teacher educator triangle. Thank you.
Effective professional learning and development for teacher mentors should involve a structured and purposeful training program to enhance their skills in guiding and supporting novice teachers. This program might include content like mentoring techniques, effective communication strategies, lesson planning, lesson observation and feedback, and instructional strategies. But just like student teachers, teacher mentors should also have opportunities to practice what they have learned in a low-stakes environment. There is often an assumption that just by attending a training session, that teacher mentors can enact the ideas effectively. This is often not the case, and they need practice with feedback. Teacher mentors also have opportunities for reflection and self-assessment. This might involve critically examining their own practices, identifying areas of improvement, and the chance to engage with other mentors and educators to support their development. But if they are to become effective teacher mentors, they require a comprehensive program of support.
Professional development for teacher mentors is not a one-size-fits-all, although you'd be forgiven for thinking that that's the case in today's educational climate. Mentors have different amounts of experience, skill sets, and areas of expertise, and approaching their training as a deficit model can be a massive problem. To really develop mentors meaningfully, we need to meet them where they are. Obviously, generic training on coaching conversations, observing lessons, and helping early career teachers set targets is helpful, but insisting on certain language or constructive ways of doing things can be detrimental. So much of a mentoring relationship, the bit where the magic happens, is situational and dialogic. Therefore, supporting mentors to have the confidence to ask probing questions, hold a space for discussions, and use analogies and wisdom from their own practice can have real impact.
Linda Darling-Hammond and her collaborators see effective professional development as structured professional learning that results in changes in teacher practices and improvements in student learning outcomes. Here are some dictionary definitions for effective. Successful or achieving the results that you want. Producing a deep or vivid impression. When you think of effective PLD, are you thinking of developing knowledge and skills and outcomes? Or are you also thinking of the trajectory of the personal and professional development of the mentor themselves? What are your thoughts now about effective PLD for mentors? How do they compare to your initial thoughts